Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the home build. Today's video, we're going to talk about interior wall framing. So let's just go ahead and get started. So what I do want to talk about is some of the components, how it's built, the connections of your top plates, all that sort of thing. So where I'm standing now, I'm up on the second floor, and partly because it's light out. First floor is nice and dark, but we got a closet. What I really like about this builder is they're not going skimpy on the framing. So the reason I say that is by code, it can be 24 on center. It could be just a single king stud and not trimmers and that sort of thing on the interior because they're non-bearing. Okay, but my builder decides 16-inch on center. So right here we got, if I hooked from the side to side, 16 inches on center. So I'm loving that. It gives it a little stronger wall. Is it by code? No, not necessarily, but it just a little bit stronger. Helps keep it a little bit straighter for when you're attaching sheetrock and that sort of thing too. So here's a closet, and by code, all they would really need is something to support it. And there's really not something about code of how it should be framed. But here I got a king stud, trimmer, header's flat, which is fine. It's got cripples up on top, but they don't necessarily have to have this trimmer portion. It's not a bearing wall. So right here is another door. It doesn't have to, it could just be nailed on the side. But that to me is a little lower quality, more skimpy. And here, it also gives me a little more area of wood to fasten trim to, molding to, or casing to, depending on what you want to call it. But that sort of thing. It still has a double top plate, still has a single bottom plate, just like in my previous videos. That double top plate kind of acts like a little mini beam. So for that extra weight that might be pressing down onto it. Allows for it to lap and connect to the interior partitions. So the interior partition laps up and over like it is over here. And still with that California corner, if I wanted to insulate that, that'd be great. Actually, that particular California corner, they got it backwards. It's kind of funny. It should be rotated the other way so that I have something to nail my sheetrock to. On this side, got something to nail both directions. That side, only one, so they're gonna have to remove that 2x6 and put it on this side, or I guess they could just tack on another one. So but that's just more wood being wasted. So that particular one would be great if it was the other way. So outside corners like this, just a 2-stud corner. So we got a through wall, you got a butt wall coming together. It doesn't get sheetrocked on the inside. Makes a nice little chase for mechanical, plumbing, all that sort of thing. Going from the roof down to the lower floors. So this particular wall is a 2x6 framed wall, partly because there's going to be plumbing going to that wall. It's harder to, what do you got there? Some chalk? Yeah, some chalk. Huh. For snapping lines. A little bigger wall, exterior, interior. Interior needs a little bit more for the plumbing to go up through, and the venting to go up through the attic. So out here we got a shower, so there's gonna be some plumbing there just on the bottom side. All right, here we are on another bedroom. Interior wall, here's the exterior. They string line that wall to make sure it's nice and straight. To keep it there, they're using this interior diagonal brace to hold that there until the trusses are in and the roof's on. But This is just going to be temporary, holding it, kind of like what that brace is doing out there, but you could get rid of that and have the interior wall be doing the same thing. Here's some of the connections. Double top plates, always lapping up over top of each other. Makes a real nice strong wall. Here's a little closet, another little closet. That's the mechanical in that closet. Another closet over here. So more diagonal bracing, temporary diagonal bracing. And over here, that holds that exterior wall nice and straight in place so they can do their work with the trusses. So if you remember in a previous video, I was standing right about here. We had our California partition section right here. Allows for insulation to get back in, allows for dry out. Okay, this side over here, they got to add another California corner, or two stud corner right there. In that section there, love it because it's going to allow insulation back. Now, another option, they could choose not to do a two stud corner right in here. They could do ladder blocking. So a 2x4 going horizontally, 16 on center, flat like this, allows this interior wall something to nail to, sheetrock something to screw to, and as well as insulation get tucked in, and allows for the dry out. So that's actually on the drawings as ladder blocking. To me, two stud corner is a bonus. So I think it's just a little stronger connection for the sheetrock when it's coming together. All right, let's talk about interior wall framing on the first floor. We're down here on the first floor, and first off, a little disclaimer that I'm really enjoying and really happy about is the quality that they're doing of their interior wall framing. So here on the interior, you can see here's a closet. It's got a header, got a trimmer, king studs. It's not required to have a trimmer. It's a better way of building. It's a stronger for trim to nail to, your casing, for your door, your jambs to nail to. It creates a little stronger frame. And so some companies that frame, they want to take that stud out and save a few studs, but they're jeopardizing, I think, in my opinion, strength. So here, with the header flat, there's no weight on it. It's a non-bearing wall, so therefore the header in this case is just flat. Still has a cripple for sheetrock to nail to on both sides and whatnot. Your L-shaped corner, your two stud corner for this other interior partition. Looks great. Up at the top, you can see when the wall is parallel to the floor joist, got to have backing for sheetrock, for the ceiling. So ceiling would go on first, the sheetrock would go on first, and then your wall sheetrock would go on in that order. So your wall sheetrock is kind of supporting your ceiling sheetrock. When they're going perpendicular, it's not required to have that backing. It's better practice to have that, but it's not required. So, but definitely when it is parallel. So you can see here, parallel backing. On this side, not required because it's such a short distance. And they probably will put some sort of blocking there to support this. Okay, that's all gonna get caught on the pickup. Right at the end of the framing, they're gonna go around and do all the little pickup things that are missed. Certain blocking, and certain added things. So here's kind of another look in the family room. Got some more blocking right up here, right at the edge. the ceiling joists, where the rim joists and the ceiling joists, it calls for additional blocking on this side, which is perpendicular to the ceiling joists, as well as short ones over on this side that you can see here. They still have the blocking for sheetrock for the ceiling. Some of it's going to get picked up later, but when it gets finalized. All right, now let's have a look at our second floor framing. I'm first going to show you the drawings here. We got a glue lam that's going to go from one wall to the other. That way, that originally it called for a post here, so we wanted them to have a glue lam going across so we can get rid of that post, open up our kitchen, dining room, and our living room a little better. It's going to be supported by two 6x6s on each end. Our TJIs for our floor joists are 19 and 3/16 on center, and they're 3/4 tongue and groove subfloor sheathing over top of it. Here's that blocking that I was kind of pointing at earlier, right here on each side. So, and hang floor joist to beam or metal hangers, both sides typical. Let's have a look at that. So here's our glue lam going from end to end, and with our Simpson hangers holding up our TJIs. So here's our TJIs, 19. So from center of this to center of that next one is 19 and 3/16 on center. We have our 6x6 column here, 6x6 over there. All that weight's transferred down to a footing, as well as the footing down under here. If you look at one of my earlier videos, you can see that there was a framing underneath at this side, and it's all on a foundation. So all that weight carries through and goes into the foundation. So something else I wanted to point at are these hangers. Where they're connected to the TJI, they got blocking, and as well as they're glued from the bottom of the hanger to the bottom of the TJI, as well as it requires that blocking in the web of the TJI, and that's for a crush factor. So all this weight out here is pressing down on the hanger right on that lower point, and it requires that additional support to transfer that load up. All right, so that's kind of a wrap for the interior wall framing. I got to give my props to Dare Homes and their design and mainly their crew. Their crew is doing a stellar job at their framing. Seems like at times it almost goes above and beyond to what I'm expecting. Been a carpenter for 23 years, so I know a thing or two. And to see that they're doing things right just makes me happy. You know, such as interior walls, 16 on center. Love it. Could go 24, skimp on studs, but you're jeopardizing some strength and stability of the interior walls. So that's kind of a wrap for interior wall framing. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time on The Home Build.